You have a few days left to take advantage of some free rewards and items in the most recent Red Dead Online update, as well as take advantage of these last few discounts before we finally receive the Blood Money Summer update in RDO that we've all been waiting for. And something special about this week is the high-level player-focused rewards, so let's get started with this week's buyer's guide so you don't waste any of your hard-earned money, especially right before this big DLC. And if you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on today's video. And if you'd like to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on, because when this update drops, there's going to be a ton of new live videos, commentaries, tips, tricks, all that stuff. So let's jump in. Starting off with those free items and rewards, the most important stuff first. Winning any showdown mode this week will earn players a reward for 30% off an ability card upgrade, while completing the Kill Them Each and Every One Land of Opportunity story mission will earn you a reward for a free treasure map, and Moonshiners above rank 100 in Red Dead who win any showdown mode will also receive an offer for 3 gold bars off a Moonshiner bar theme, and all Red Dead Online players who are rank 100 and above, they don't need to necessarily have a role, they will also receive an offer for 50% off a select weapon, while everybody who purchases some type of weapon modification this week, doesn't matter what it is, they will get an offer for 40% off a select revolver, as well as 200 express revolver ammo, plus all weapon and pamphlet rank requirements at the fence have been lifted this week, and they've also been discounted, so that's something we're going to talk about a little later on in this video. Something to keep in mind with that weapon voucher though is it doesn't expire for a while, and most likely you probably have every weapon purchased if you're over level 100, so this could come in handy with the Blood Money update if we are fortunate enough to receive some type of new weapon in the game. Everyone wants the M1899 from the story mode and online, or perhaps we could even finally see that Buffalo rifle, which Rockstar either intentionally or unintentionally teased way back in October of 2020 when they literally showed off a Buffalo rifle design in RDO drawing style on their official newswire, but we haven't seen or heard any updates about that since, so it probably won't amount to anything, but just a thought. Moving on, when it comes to other sweet discounts players jumping into the game can take advantage of this week before they expire, we have opportunities for 30% off sniper rifles, and this applies to the rolling block rifle and the Carcano. For comparison's sake, the Carcano deals 101.1 damage and has a much faster fire rate than the rolling block. This gives it the damage per second advantage, and overall it is the superior long-range sniper for both PvE and PvP. The fire rate alone makes it more useful in PvE due to facing groups of enemies, and the DPS it offers makes it superior against tank builds and any player who uses a health tonic, which is probably the vast majority of players you're going to run into in PvP fights. Whereas the rolling block does deal a higher damage at 121 damage, but it does have a much slower rate of fire, which makes its damage per second output lower than the Carcano overall, and the only way it's superior to the Carcano when facing players is if they have at most 1 damage reduction card and they aren't using a health tonic, which is kind of like a weird requirement there. So when it comes to the rolling block versus Carcano, fortunately it's a pretty easy answer. In most cases it's the Carcano because it's going to perform better than the rolling block due to the DPS, and it fares much better against the tank builds, tonic users, and for PvE, whereas the rolling block sits in more of a special niche where it offers a bit more damage, allowing you to maintain a one-shot kill status on non-tank ability card and tonic users, and all it needs is the sharpshooter instead of sharpshooter MP condition like the Carcano for one-shot kills on those same type of enemies. Now we also have an opportunity for 30% off all shotguns in the game. Sawed-off shotguns aren't really comparable to these other long arms we're going to talk about. You know, it's a one-shot kill up until 10 steps away from players. They make for a good dual-wield weapon setup when using 2 medium or long-range long arms, however, and they fire pretty quickly, and they have a very high DPS when in very close ranges if you can land all the pellets, as well as access the 2 special types of ammo instead of just 1 compared to other sidearms. However, with their limited range and high rate of fire, it makes them chew through ammo super quickly, and you'll need to constantly go refill up at the post office or the camp lockbox. Moving on, the double barrel has the highest damage per pellet ratio, thus making it the most damage at further ranges, but because of the poorer accuracy from its larger bloom size and its slower bloom shrink, you really need to use Paint It Black to take advantage of this. It's a one-shot kill up to 15 steps, but it does do 108 damage up to 20 steps away, and it's obviously fine for PvE, but you may find this more suited for PvP. That's my preference for using this weapon. I mostly use the pump action for PvE due to its higher ammo count, so I don't choke gunfights. Speaking of the pump action shotgun though, it has the best accuracy in class with the smallest bloom size and the fastest bloom shrink speed, speed, which makes it the most consistent for one-shot kills. It's also a one-shot kill up to 15 steps away, and also deals 108 damage at 20 steps. It's the most reliable in general. It can be used for all types of content with great performance. This applies to both PvE free roam and PvP. Like I said, I think the double barrel is more effective in PvP despite its lower ammo count, but for PvE, where it's better to have higher ammo counts than necessarily doing higher damage, I roll with the pump action. Now after that, we have the repeating shotgun. This shotgun is essentially a little less accurate than the pump action with a slightly larger bloom size than the pump, but in exchange, you get one extra shot, and it may be more preferable in PvE, but not necessarily PvP when you're talking about its stats. If you want a more accurate PvP shotgun, opt for the pump action. The repeating is a one-shot kill up to 15 steps away, and damage per shot drops off to 95 at 20 steps. Now lastly, we have the semi-auto shotgun. It has a pretty horrendous accuracy overall, either when you're standing still or being on the move, and it does have the largest in-class bloom size and one of the slowest bloom shrink speeds besides the double barrel, and it has increased rate of fire, but that's kind of irrelevant when you're aiming because it's so insignificantly faster than other shotguns with a fast fire rate. However, when you're hip firing, that's when you'll notice that faster fire rate over other shotties. Thus, it's probably best used when you're using the slippery ability card, since all accuracy is standardized, and shotguns should be hip fired using that ability card anyway, since hip fire actually, funny enough, has a smaller bloom size than aiming for shotguns when you're using SB and you have it active. So that's pretty interesting to note right there. The other effective use for the semi-auto is against legendary animals. You know, if a predator is charging you, whip out the semi-auto, hip fire, and you'll take that thing to the ground pretty fast. If you plan on actually aiming down your sight though to take down a legendary, use any shotgun with painted black and you'll get the job done just as easily. The semi-auto can secure a one-hit kill up to 15 steps, and the damage drops off to 101 at 20 steps away. Now next up, we have an offer for 30% off all Turkoman horses. This horse breed is outstanding. It's my personal favorite in the game. It's an oriental horse breed. It's a bold horse known for its slender body and high endurance. The small hooves on it are suitable for traveling on hard and rocky grounds, and that alongside their high speed makes for a great battle horse overall, and I think you'll be quite pleased with the 7 out of 10 bars it has for health, the 5 out of 10 bars it has for stamina, 6 out of 10 for speed, and 5 out of 10 for acceleration. When you average each stat category across the board and compare it to other horse breeds, it's actually a top 3 horse in the game, and it's extremely viable for pretty much any and every situation. The new coat variants that come with the Bounty Hunter expansion are also beautiful on this Turkoman, by the way. Now we have 2 more big discounts for this week to go over real fast. Ability card purchases are 40% off. They were half off only the other week, so hopefully you took advantage of them, and if you haven't, and if you're not confident with how much money you have for this new update, I wouldn't go wasting it all on buying new cards necessarily, because unfortunately this only covers the first tier purchase, which is pretty cheap. So you won't lose out on a ton of money in the long run if you do buy them later when they're full price, but if you are looking for some excellent cards that are useful for all situations like rehealing, damage mitigation, damage buffs, etc., look no further than Slow and Steady, Slippery, Painted Black, Sharpshooter, Winning Streak, Iron Lung, Eye for an Eye, Strange Medicine, Quite an Inspiration, Focus Fire, Gunslinger's Choice, Fool Me Once, The Unblinking Eye, Never Without One, and Peak Condition. Now the last discount you should look into if you have yet to buy these is the opportunity for 40% off all weapon crafting pamphlets. Even with this discount, they are still relatively expensive if you're a newer player getting into this game. However, pamphlets like the Express Explosive Ammo pamphlet, Dynamite Arrows, and Explosive Slugs for shotguns are all absolutely worth the money when it comes to protecting your Moonshine and Trader Wagon deliveries, and perhaps even the new Blood Money update loot that you steal if PvP elements are mixed in with these missions. I'm not sure, but it's just a thought to keep in mind. With all that said though, I think we'll be wrapping things up right here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you'd like to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. You're more than welcome to ask me questions on there. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. That being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.